All right. So let's move on to some music, right? This is actually going to be my first album review for the season here, for the year, for the decade. And yeah, speaking of the decade, like projects, well, I wouldn't say like a lot of projects have been dropping actually, but yeah, just a few have been showing up that nobody saw coming. Well, one of which I actually enjoyed this year actually, well, Saturday, I should say, is this collaboration album between Madlib and Ono, right? Who are both brothers, they're both producers, oftentimes rappers. They have a project out called The Professionals. Really, really dope album, right? So I would say that's like that really opened up the decade strong, right? Also, well, actually, the same time when this album came out, Mac Miller's posthumous album Circles came out. I haven't listened to this yet. I will check it out for
Right.
sure, right? But what I want to talk about here is Eminem's 11th album, Music to Be Murdered By.
Right.
So just woke up on Friday, last week Friday, my own business, and I do follow, Eminem on Twitter. So I just see he talk about, hey, album out now. I like, what album? You know what I mean? So once again, he put like kamikaze on us, right? Surprise album out of the blue. And then he also had a video, right, which I'll talk about, which he dropped on the same day, right? So checked out. I'll look at the title. I see music to be murdered by. Looking at the cover,
Right.
have this sort
Yeah.
of horror-core-ish
Uh,
kind of vibe to it, macabre vibe to it. And it's only after the fact I learned that it's actually reference. Well, it's inspired
yeah.
actually by Alfred Hitchcock's.
Yeah. The old
Well,
Hitchcock reference.
yeah, sort of an album, sort of a thing that he had with
Right.
this composer called Jeff Alexander, right? Well, a arranger actually, called Alfred Hitchcock's Presents Music to Be Murdered By. There, you could actually find it on YouTube. I'll give it a listen. I just kind of glimpsed through it and I was like, all right, cool, cool. So yeah, so right off the title alone, I did like, okay, so is M going back to the horrorcore stuff? Because I know last time he did that was with Relapse, right, which was back in 2009, and this was right around the time where he was basically just trying to get his career back. But how I saw Relapse now was him just kind of flushing out all the darkness, like flushing out all the pills and stuff like that that he was taking. And then with Recovery now in 2010, it's like, okay, I'm fresh now, I'm new, I'm not I'm clean now. I could make these, pseudo inspirational songs now, like Not Afraid. I could branch out and try new things, like with Rihanna with Love the Way You Lie, you know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah.
like a transformation basically of Eminem now. So I see the title here and I'm like, okay, well, we're going back to this. And one thing that came to my mind now is like, all right, well, I know people did not really respond well to Kamikaze. I was rather fated, and in retrospect, I find I was like a little too fair with it, right? It's
Right.
not a great album at all, though, but I do think that because it was so much better than Revival, you know what I mean? It like that still was a reason why I enjoyed the album so much. But still, once again, it was just the sentiment is, oh, you didn't like Revival? Well, this album is for you, and it's just this whole middle finger stuff throughout a majority of these songs, and it just kind of gets old after a while. It's just like, okay, well, we get it, all right, cool. You don't need to be bitching about it so much, right? And this is what leads me to the issue that I have here with Eminem, right? And this could be like part album review or part quick album review and part quick rant of sorts, right? So before I get into all of that, right? Ricardo, did you check out the album? Did you watch the
Right.
video, or how did you respond at all to M's
I
stuff last week Friday?
I did listen to the album. I have it on my phone, and I really like it on average. There's a lot of great tracks,
Uh-huh.
and there were a couple great like verses, like genuinely great verses for me at least. I mean, I'm not a big hip hop person, so it like anything could it don't take much to impress me. But I was like, it have a couple verses that are like goddamn amazing in this for me at least. Um,
Right.
so I just really like, and I like, I genuinely like a couple tracks,
Right. Well,
like a few tracks are good for you. Like all the
yeah.
stuff with Royce Nine is amazing for me.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, right? So just to get the obvious out of the way, yes, there is some good in this, right? There is some good, right? Um so just to jump into the review here one time, right? I thought that it started off really strong with Premonition.
Yeah,
That's the opening track. I love just the idea that how it sets up everything now, where it's like, oh well, you know what I mean? Like I guess this is what it had to be now, and like you're hearing You're hearing like shovel going into earth. So the idea is that he's
Yeah.
digging back up Slim Shady. And if you look at the album cover, you see in Slim Shady like the text there, and it's like, well, you're the one angry Eminem anymore. So guess I had to go back to wild and crazy Slim Shady. Although in this case is more kind of self-aware Slim Shady, you know what I mean? But yeah, I thought that the intro track was really good. Then we have Unaccommodating, which I
Right.
felt wasn't like okay. So Young Emmy's verse, I didn't expect it to be this. It wasn't half bad. It was actually really good, right?
Right. That's okay. That's
Yeah, yeah,
okay verse. I think my problem is her flow didn't really fit the beat so well.
right,
Um
right, right. It had this kind of lead, not lazy, but just lead back. That
right.
you know what I mean? It was just a little slow compared to the beat itself, right? But
Yeah.
again, that's your style, I guess, whatever. But
Right.
yeah, and I like how M just get all braggadocious, man.
Right.
Being cocky and stuff like that, right?
So I think like this is probably one of M's best verse ever, in my opinion. Uh I
Except,
really like this verse.
all right, so
I
say,
yeah, I
all
put
right,
it,
go on.
no seriously. I put his verse up there with like his verse in No Favors
Ah,
or maybe like his verse in probably maybe even like Gatman or Renegade.
right.
It's a genuinely great verse.
Yeah, yeah. No, he has some solid he has a solid verse here. I didn't know that this was a big thing till like probably like a few hours after listening to the album. Apparently people didn't like the way how he ended his second verse, right? The controversial part where he says, but I'm contemplating yelling bombs away on the game like I'm outside
Right,
of an Ariana Grande concert
right,
waiting
right.
and you hear a bomb
Yeah,
exploding. I didn't pick up on it till like afterwards and I was like,
yeah.
okay, people really took a
I
big
was
deal with
like,
that.
wow. Actually, yeah, I was like, oh shit, he actually went there though, and that
Yeah,
cracked
yeah,
me up.
yeah, yeah. Right. So the next track we have is You Gonna Learn. White Gold. I don't know. I've never heard this guy before. He provides the hook.
Right.
Hook isn't. I mean, the hook is alright, right? But I really dug Royce's verse. I love how introspective it was. And same thing
Yeah,
with M. I mean, M was pretty solid here. And yes, also we get little interludes from well the album itself, the Hitchcock album itself. So you hear Alfred's like, well, this is the album music to be murdered by, his accent,
right.
right? So at first I was like, okay, this is actually Hitchcock Duck. I didn't know that this was a reference until like when I heard his voice, like, oh shit, that's what it is. All right, cool. Um, but I mean, yes, it started off really good though, but then we get some lows, not a lot of lows, but we get some lows, right? First low boy, those kind of nights. This one features Ed Sheeran, right? Because a lot of people
Right.
love that last collaboration with them River. Love that.
Look, this is more Ed Sheeran problem than an Eminem problem, but yeah, I really didn't care with the track. I was like, wow, this one slowed
Yeah,
things
yeah,
down
yeah.
for me.
And okay, so last time you had a track called Stepping Stones where he was literally talking to D12 and talking about, well, yeah, sorry that y'all didn't blow up as much as I did, but sorry, we done because I had to move on and I can't do this stuff anymore. You know what I mean? But now in this song here, talk about, oh, you're mentioning like Bazaar, and, you know what I mean, a couple of your former D12 meets and all that in some club or whatnot, right? And then we had some corny business. So we had like hit up the next club, met Alexa, but she was so extra, called her etc. Then we had in the last verse, OMG, like the gas in the tank, she's getting low on me. Said she wants to go with me. I said, go with you where? She said, out. I said, I'm a candle. I'll go out if you blow on me.
Right.
Ugh. But anyway, this is like the dumb club party track, boy, but I just really didn't care for this at all. Um, then we have In Too Deep, which unfortunately is just one of those been there, heard that toxic relationship songs because yes, M has to go on toxic relationships again. You know what I mean? I hate you, but I love you. Ugh. But and it has this kind of like a poppy instrumental, which one of the issues I have with the album. It just contrasts heavily with like the title and like what was set up at the very beginning. You know what I mean? It sounds so like radio friendly now, but this is about music to be murdered by. What's this pop stuff? And the hook that M sings doesn't really help things. Oh, by the way, yes, we have some cringy bars here as well. So we have call us Long John Silvers because we selfish.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I
And then,
like the line.
so once a
It's
year or twice a month, I'm here if you want it. This so yeah, I'm open season and I'm always game, so I keep it 100 there.
yeah,
Ugh, what? See, this is the problem people is having M now, you know. The corny bars, Dread.
yeah.
I know it's intentional. He's being silly, yeah.
No, but like
But like
even
why, man?
even on a comedy, which I think is a big verse, have like a bunch of corny bars, so like
No,
with
I
this,
know, I
but
know.
people, but
But at least I could like where he says, oh gosh, where it is where okay, I'll read it, right? And you're from the school of notorious Puba, Cube, and the poor
yeah,
righteous teachers tutored my students, show them all the blueprint and formula. But it seems like the more they study my music, the more they remind me of eyeballs. I'm watching my pupils get cornier.
yeah, I like that line.
That was
That's
clever.
like,
It's corny, but it's
yeah,
clever.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
But it's that thin line between corniness and cleverness there. That's where
yeah,
usually he drops, especially in
right.
this album here, right? We get another party track here. This is Godzilla. This is one that the people talk about because it have,
I like this.
well, you
Yeah,
laid Juice Will in it, right?
yeah, yeah.
Decent track, yes, but I wish we got at least a verse from Juice WRLD though. Like okay, like I was not a fan of his subject matter, the whole emo shit, you know, like really like bitch you broke my heart kind of stuff. But at least he could have rap. He could have rap. So it's like why couldn't I get a verse? But anyway, right? Um, but yeah, M flexes a lot, you know, he shows off he's a monster and all that kind of stuff. He have like one cringy bar where he say, I got him passing out like what you do when you hand someone flyers. But I really dug the triplet flows that he do in the end though. Like he was real flexible in the end of that track though. Like holy shit, right?
Right.
But yeah, if you like the triplet stuff, you'll go insane with that. And then we get to me honestly the best track of the album, Darkness. Right, this is the one where you got the video from. And the funny thing is, like I was listening to it, I was digging the beat, even though the it references Simon and Garfunkel's Song of Silence, right? He ran onto the piano, the dum 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 dum. The lonely nose, and you would hear the "Hello darkness, my old friend." Lonely nose, but I get where they're coming from. I mean, the way how they work the beat was really work that song into the beat was really cool, right? The
Right.
funny thing is, like me listening for the first time, I was listening to the story and I was like, but wait, now this thing going on, why it sound like what happened in Vegas with the guy who was in the hotel and he started shooting a bunch of people, and then I realized, oh shit, it's about him. And what was really
Right.
cool about this is like the brilliance of this song here. Is that at first you think it's about M, 'cause he's talking about he's in hotel room, pills, he's ready for a show. And you think it was like some encore shit, whereas like he can't deal with it, so he had to take pills to get by now. And then they work it, then you realize, oh, it's the guy, the killed the sniper actually getting ready to do this thing. He waited for the show to reach at a certain point. Because there was a concert that was going on, I forgot that actually, and then he did it.
Yeah, a
And
country,
like when
yeah.
that hit, I was like, oh, and that's what I thought the song could get any better because the song fades out. Then you hear like these news reports. When you hear the news report of what happened, the shooting, you hear other reports that happened in the past with school shooters and stuff like that. And that's when it hit me though. And then like about a few hours later, I checked out the video, which I have to check and see if it's number one in trending. It really should be because a great video. People like some people were kind of turned off by it because why it's so violent. I didn't really find it so. Yes, it touched on a really uncomfortable subject, but the way how they work it in, especially with M's storytelling and wordplay, I think it works too. So I don't know about you, agree or disagree, but yeah, to me, this was the best song on this album. And I dug the video as well. I thought that the video was great. I love how they worked in what went on without being too exploitative. So anything you want to share on Darkness or the song and the video?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a solid track. You don't know what's going on until you hit it. Yeah, I love the track. Not my personal favorite, but yeah, it did.
Yeah, so to me that was a highlight of it. Not seeing that it matched the title, but once again, just subject matter. That's really what I was going thinking about with this album here. Um, I thought that the following track, Leaving Heaven, was really good as well.
Yeah,
It's another, play the cards that was dealt song, but I love M's bars in this. He has some great bars. The beat was pretty decent, though. It has this really like dramatic feel to things, really cinematic. Skylar Grey, she always shows up on like nearly every M album,
right.
after recovery. Her hook, I like how bluesy it is. It has that kind of honky tonk kind of
Yeah.
dark vibe to it. You know what I mean? Like, I believe in heaven. You know what I mean? It fits the tone. In the third verse, he mentions his dad who actually passed away last year. And he's like, well, bitter over the fact that he left him, you know, what I mean, at a very young
Yeah.
age. He was actually a baby there when he left, right? But in a strange kind of way, he kind of thanks him for making that decision because, well, M wouldn't be the guy that he is if he didn't leave, right? Um, if I have this little gripe, though, I find that in this, well, near the end where you see rest in peace, cocksucker, seeing the hell, that was kind of important, though. Like, I understand you hate your dad, but come on, my dad was like, come on, come on.
Well, it's M. It's like whatever.
I
I
I know,
expected
but
that from
it's
him.
still just like, God, come on, man,
Because
come on.
there's another dark track that's coming up that he was like, God damn.
Yeah. So um next track we have is Yeah Yeah.
Which I love.
Here's the thing, right? I
It's
love the
Busta
bars.
Rhymes.
I love the bars. The bars are
Yeah.
fantastic, right? Uh Royce come true, Black Thought, Steely
Yeah.
Show, 'cause of course it's Black Thought, right? Q-Tip, do the
Yeah.
hook, right? Um who else? Well, kill it in the last verse, right?
Yeah.
But I still the beat itself, I still had to grow on though, like because I was expecting it to be a little bit more high octane there. Then, well, you know the yeah 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 stuff now, which is a reference to well, you know from which is Buster Rhymes anthems from
Why?
Wuhan that you want to check.
Yeah.
Like you could not
Yeah.
get Buster to be in the song to do the yeah yeah yeah
That's
stuff.
why. Listen, my thing is that Busta had to show up for a remix for that shit. Eh?
I know, right? Like
Yeah.
it's like this is right up his alley, Dread. But yeah, so the beat had to grow a bit because I just felt it should have a little bit more bombast, a little bit more energy to it. You know what I mean? But it for what it is, it's good. I mean, everybody ready beat good. The man even take a shot at well Machine Gun Kelly in this one. So he says, I'm a sight to see, but you can see from the ring I'm wearing. Me and this gay, we got married already. Had a prenup ready. Fucked on her. Should have seen her belly. She barely was 3 months pregnant. Bitch had it. Give me a baby. We call it Machine Gun Kelly. It's like, ooh, oh, okay, okay.
Because and it's again when you run a joke and again yeah we shared colleague Vlad P Boyce himself Doughboy make the point that look at least he got mentioned that he got mentioned unaccommodated and then really got mentioned in this
Yes.
compared to the right.
Yeah, they kind of, well, he kind of get mentioned as such, but it's more like, oh, well, he apparently is supposed to have some beef with him. That's how it came up. That's so much like, okay, I'm going to take shots, you know. Um,
Right.
and then, well, we get to, well, in my opinion, probably the worst song on this album, Stepdad. So we have the hook, sorry, so
Right.
we have the intro to this, and then we get to it. And, okay, so The Alchemist co-produced this shit. The Alchemist shit. One of the best
Yeah, you know.
producers right now. And you wouldn't even hear a smidget of his influence on this thing, Jed. Once again, is the whole, okay, I hate my pervy asshole stepdad. Is this basically his revenge fantasy with him trying to
Right.
get back at him? The hook is ass, Jed. And I don't know
You
how
hate
Ed
stepdad.
does it, but there's something about how he does hooks sometimes where you're thinking that he just does it intentionally bad. This I hate
Yeah, I like
my step. I'm like,
Yeah, I
what?
like Stepdad. Yeah, to me, Stepdad feel like something come out 2002. That's how it feel like.
I
It
know,
feel like
right? Yeah, like this is some Eminem show kind of stuff too. Like,
yeah, yeah.
dude,
That's how
in
it feel
2020,
like.
we still doing this. We still doing
Yeah,
this.
yeah. It feeling it's very dated, but at the same time, I like it because like it does give me a lot of nostalgia for early Eminem. I say I think you would have grown to this by now, right?
Well, I was thinking he would have grown to that long time, you know what I mean? But yeah, he's still at it, right? But here's kind of the irony with this. It kind of fits the title of the album. It kind of fits.
Yeah.
Because yeah, the step guy gets killed. He gets murdered actually, and well, M buries him next to his dog actually. To be very end. It's like, well, so it kind of fit. Don't mind, I don't like the song, but it kind of fit, right? We get Marsh. That's the next track, which at first I didn't really dig it, but then the second I was like, okay, I could kind of rock with this. I could kind of rock with this. But basically, this is just him shit talking. He brag rapping. The beat actually fit his flow perfectly. 'Cause you have this. It
Right.
sounds like how modern rappers sound, but sort of his taking it. And speaking of that, though, I like how he does like these Travis Scott like ad libs in the chorus like that. Yeah, you know what I mean, like that. So this wasn't bad, not the greatest song ever, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad, right? We have Never Love Again, which at first I was like, oh gosh, we doing this whole I hate you but I love you, break up, this is the end, but I still love you thing. Then I realized, no, the man actually talking about his, well, substance abuse. So I was like, okay. You know what I mean? The beat was kind of meh for me, and it's kind of weird because Dr. Dre actually co-produced this, but I dug that he actually kind of took something that we kind of know to expect from him and used it to touch on something way darker, right? Not the first time he's done this, but it was what it was. It was right, right? Then we had another song here, Little Engine, which I don't know. This song still have to grow on me a bit because yes, I like the fact that
That's
it's
right.
Eminem going schizo, going mad, you know, he prone to violence, all that kind of stuff. The beats have this like real video game kind of style to it, but
Right.
the hook though, I don't know why, but the hook just keep reminding me of Venom. The legend go, when they know, when
Yeah,
they
yeah, yeah.
know, yeah, it's like, and then when you listen to it, it's just him rhyming words with words. You know what I mean? It's not you don't really see it much, but it's like him trying to get on that Slim Shady shit, but nah, I don't know. One of my favorite tracks comes up next, "Lock It Up," which features Anderson .Paak, right? Um, I actually
Right.
don't mind him with the hook. I thought the hook was cool. Dr. Dre produces beat here, like how upbeat it is. It has this kind of West Coast feel to it. And I am actually writing the beat very well, though. I would say that much. It's only two verses of the hook. There's no oversee it's welcome. It's good for what it is, right? Then we have Farewell, Jen. I actually
Yeah.
wrote about this on Facebook. I was saying, like, I would have never believed in a million years, Jen, that M would have rap on a beat with a Sarani sample in this, Jen.
Yeah, for real. Eh?
Serrani though? Like, where's Serrani though? Like, he was one of the best things about like late 2000s dancehall. Like, his voice alone was like, yeah, this is why I listen to dancehall now because he had some bangers there. You know what I mean? But yeah, so they sample Play-Doh games into the beat, and even hear like a sample of his vocals at the very end, right? I guess that's just for
Right.
people who just don't know who Serrani was or what the song was, right? But anyway, this was kind of weird because this is another Love the Way You Lie kind of song where it's like, yeah, I hate you, bitch, that kind of stuff, right? But the beat so bouncy there and like real club oriented there. But then when you listen to M's lyrics, it's like real dark and bitter there. So like, what? You know what I mean? So yeah, didn't really care for this song, unfortunately. Um, Second to last track, we have No Regrets, right? This is essentially the, well, fans want the old me, but they're never going to get that because I'm old now. And yeah, looking back at my life, yeah, glad where I'm at. And if I had the chance to do it again, I'd do it, right? Essentially what it is. Don Tolliver does the hook. And um,
Right.
pretty much it feels like your standard sort of trap flavor. So it sounds like what the hooks for modern rap songs sound like, right? And it works in terms of the setup, the tone, and the feel of it. So he kind of addressed the fact that the disses that he made at Tyler, the Creator, and Earl Sweatshirt on the last album were a result of misguided anger, quote unquote, right? He kind of mentions the beefs, quote unquote, he have with MGK and the Cannon. He
Right.
doesn't really like diss him or call him out by name, but it's just like, yeah, so this was a thing, right? So, whatever. Um, Two verses to the hook, so this kind of came and went for me, but I dug the sentiment for this, right? And then last but not least, and he kind of ended off strong. I'll give him that with I Will. Now, the hook took a while for me to get into because he just kept rhyming skill with Phil and Will and Kill, but somehow it just kind of sink itself into your brain, and so it just fit the sort of aggressiveness of the beat because, yeah, it's just him reuniting with Slaughterhouse and he just going ham on this beat. And yeah, I thought that was like honestly like a great way to end it. I love how tense and dramatic this beat feels. Everybody comes through with great verses. And well, I mean, his verses just kind of steal the show. And for some reason, the man takes shots at Lord Jamar again. So he goes like
Right.
this: I'm more than you bargained for, and I'm far more worse than the 40 some bar Lord Jamar verse. Nothing means more than respect. So when I curse, you could say I swore to protect my image. I have no zero time or regard for. I never was. Been claiming rap when it's not yours. If it was anybody's house, if it was anyone's house, sorry, G Rap and Rakim would be having you mop floors. Run DMC would be having you cleaning sinks. Yeah, your group was off the chain, but you were the weakest link. Ouch.
Okay.
I okay, so I not versed in all things brand new, man, but I can't come and say, oh yeah, Lord Jamal was like the worst thing in the group, but whatever. That's what you say, right? And once again, ironically, it fits the tone of the beat, sorry, the tone of the title there. Because like yeah, this kind of murder in this beat there, I mean, it's just all dark and aggressive and abrasive and all this too there. So this was what it was. Like I really enjoyed for what it was. That the best song on the album. I would say like second or third best for me, but this was a solid way to end the album off there. So here's my issue with the album as a whole, and M as where he is right now, the direction that he is in right now, right? So I have a feeling the whole music to be murdered by thing was just and I hate to say this though, it was just like a marketing ploy. It was just to get people like me
Right.
excited, like, oh my god, this is going to be raw Eminem once again. Then when you dig into it, it's your standard Eminem album, which is fine, but I just felt like the title is very,
I
very misleading. Very misleading. And even
to me,
and right now to the album cover and all too. Even right now to the Alfred Hitchcock references and all stuff and all that too. Is just like, okay, this is just to have me believe that this is going to be one thing. In my case, thinking that it's going to be like sort of like a horrorcore stuff, and then it's not really all that much. You know what I mean? But yeah,
no, yeah, I felt that it's nostalgia. It felt like a nostalgia kind of album. Like it does kind of go on back to the stuff that pushed old Eminem buttons, not
right.
new stuff. But I liked it for what it was.
Okay, okay.
I feel like genuinely great tracks here.
Yeah, maybe it's for me. Maybe it's just that maybe I just need to look at it from that perspective. Because yeah, you're right. It does feel very much like old Eminem. So that's why I was listening to it. I was like, okay, but where's the progression? Where is me? And it just I'd be kind of wondering, okay, what direction is he going to go with this? And from that point, from this point on, it just felt like he was just harkening back to his old self. And okay, if the album was more self-aware, at least reminded us that okay, y'all wanted old Eminem, well, this is what it is, and you kind of set it up. Okay, cool, right? Um, but here, boy, it was just like, okay, this is just Eminem just by the numbers doing his stuff once again, but I'm not getting really anything new or anything different, right? Which okay, like how you say this is him kind of harking back to his old self. Maybe I just need to look at it from that perspective. Um, but just going back to the title once again, like I just felt once again, okay, if you're going for dark stuff, be dark. You know what I mean? Not saying all the songs have to be dark, right? But just have that. In this case, it was starts off like that, but then you get like the lovey-dovey stuff here, you get the party stuff there. And it's like, okay, well, just the title is just a title. It doesn't really mean anything in the end of the day. You know what I mean? It's just once again another Eminem album. I will say that he's not as whiny as he was before, but still. And oh yes, one point I want to make note with Premonition, the opening track, is where he says how Rolling Stone gave El Cool G's album Bad, right? A 2.5 out of 5 back then, and now we look at Bad as a classic. It is a classic, right? But Rolling Stone didn't get it for some reason. He have a feeling this could be how Revival will be, recognized later on in life. Like people will look back at that and be like, "Oh, well, yeah, it's actually we were wrong, right?" Cool, but here's the thing with El Cool J, though. This is my little argument here. Cool J put out 13 albums, right? The last album he put out was called Exit 13. This was around the time where he was still with Def Jam, right? This was around the time where hip hop and R&B was big, and this was the lane he was riding in the 2000s, right? The whole hip hop R&B kind of crossover stuff. But after the 13th album, he stopped, right? He never put out another album. He got to acting more and stuff like that. So the point is that he's not gonna spend his time having to prove once again, having to tell his critics and his fans once again that he's the best and he's the greatest and he's the this and he's the that. We know this already. We know this. We could check back in discography. We know you are one of the GOAT trend. But what else do you have to offer? This is what I've been worried now. Is that okay, are you gonna spend the rest of your 40s having to prove to everybody why you're still the best and why people don't get it, why people don't understand you, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. I don't know, I just kind of worried with like for me, just wanting to be a creative. I don't want to be in that corner. I don't want to paint myself in that corner where I have to continually have to prove to people I'm the best in this. Like, dude, you can actually move on to do other things, you know what I mean? Other stuff. But if, music is your thing and I respect that, right? I understand that. But at least give us something a little different, perhaps. Maybe a little concept, perhaps. And that's why I told you we're going to get Winnie music to be murdered by. Like maybe he would go kind of slightly horrorcore, but he could use that to kind of be self-referential, to talk about himself and, violence and stuff like that and how he influenced the game there for better or for
Right.
worse. I told you that go there. Um, but then when you hear stuff like darkness, you're thinking, okay, well, he kind of did that, but he worked it into social commentary. So he's actually talking about how things are right now with gun control, all that kind of stuff. This is cool. This is clever. So he could still be maniacal on wax, but he could still be kind of real and give us, a look
Right.
into really uncomfortable stuff that going on today.
I
I
felt,
thought that was going to be the approach, but once again, it's just
yeah, I
same.
felt with this.
What?
Yeah, I felt with this. He gotta play it to the fans. That's what it felt like.
Yeah. So to me, that was like this is why I was kind of let down by this because once again, just looking at the title, looking at the album cover, and thinking this is going to be like a new direction. Maybe he's going to use the Slim Shady persona to do something different. And what we get here is just yet another Eminem album. You know what I mean? Just the typical stuff, typical subject matter. You know what I mean? The corny bars here or there. And yes, lyrically, he's still top notch. There's no denying that. There's some cuts I'll go back to, some bars I'll re-listen to, some hooks that I'll cringe off, like Stepdad, for example. But this one is, I don't know, like at the end of the day, like just to round things up, I kind of still prefer Kamikaze over this, which is not really seen much. But
Okay.
there's some solid cuts on this, and don't get me wrong, there's some solid cuts on this. But maybe maybe I just have to give it one more listen and just look at it from how you see, he's going back to his old self. Okay, maybe if I look at it from that, maybe I'll appreciate it a little bit
Right.
more. But
I
I just wanted, so one thing, I just expected him to just take the next step forward, not so much two steps back, and that's why I got here with this album, unfortunately.
yeah, I mean, I just felt like he just catered to certain things. Again, what the fans kind of want. Again, to be accommodating. His
Right.
verse is like really good in that. I just think that's a kind of all time classic for me. Stepdad I enjoy for what it was. Yeah, it has some corny lines and like the euthanasia line. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Um, uh, yeah, but I enjoyed for it was because just a straightforward, story driven, story. Like that's I didn't
Yeah.
expect
Fair,
nothing.
fair enough.
Yeah,
That's fine. Yeah. So,
yeah, and,
yeah. So rated wise, I mean, uh, what and once again I find myself being like real charitable to him again now. So originally I was gonna give it a 2.5 out of 5, but as I'm thinking about it now, very, 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 very light 3 out of 5 for this one. Like it's not the worst album out there. It's not the best album out there. But this might make or break fans. People who probably hated the whininess and bitchiness about Kamikaze will probably enjoy this. But like for me, if you're just looking for okay, this is the next step that Eminem has to go. He's done with the whole, forget revival stuff like that. But what I mean? If you're looking for that, you're not gonna get this here, unfortunately. You know what I mean? We get bits of whininess about, oh, why it is only like my stuff and all that kind of thing. You know what I mean? And what he did here is at least he didn't stick to that fully, like what he did to extent with Kamikaze. At least he do he touch on other things, but just unfortunately, it's just same old, same old, same old. The only exception being darkness. That was something kind of different here, but. Other than that, though, maybe for me, I just need to give this a couple more listens. I don't think I'll give it a lot, but hey, it is what it is. Though I just hoping that with the next project, wherever it is, I hope that M really does just step out of his comfort zone and do something a little bit different. And what I mean, if he has to end his career on that point, I just wanted to be on just doing something a little bit different. You know what I mean, without
right,
the same old, same old, same old M formula stuff. And yeah, that's all
right.
I really had to say about it.
I'll say it does. It is a bit on the formulaic end. I'll admit
Right.
that because like I like stuff like on accommodating and stuff that. I mean, yeah, I get it. It just feels like a kind of classic Eminem song in that it is would right though. I concede that.
Right, fair enough.